You will never break the paradigm until you consciously decide to change the frequency you're operating on. Bob Proctor. Money is energy. It's flow. It's frequency. And if you're still trying to earn it through struggle, sweat, and suffering, without first understanding the frequency that attracts it, you're fighting against the very nature of abundance. You weren't created to fight for crumbs. You were born to overflow. But overflow only happens when you operate at the right frequency. The frequency of money. The frequency of abundance. The frequency of prosperous consciousness. And no, this isn't shallow talk. This is physics. This is vibration. This is law. The same intelligence that keeps planets in orbit, that changes the seasons and moves the tides, is the intelligence that responds to your inner vibration. And what is vibration? Vibration is sustained emotion. It's belief in motion. It's the energetic atmosphere you carry without even realizing it. But it communicates to the universe what you're truly ready to receive. Not what you say you want, but what you vibrate as truth. Here's the big revelation. You never attract the money you want. You attract the money you believe you deserve. The money your frequency can hold. The money your mind allows. And if you don't reprogram your mind, you'll keep repeating the same financial reality year after year. You can change jobs, start businesses, take courses, but the outcome will be the same because your frequency hasn't changed. Money doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to conviction. And conviction doesn't come from blind effort. It comes from clarity, from alignment, from the silent certainty that you're tuned into the universal flow of abundance. Look around. See those who truly prosper, not those who show off, but those who are prosperous within. They carry a different energy, a calm, a confidence, a magnetism that can't be explained, only felt. They know money will come, not because they're special, but because they've mastered the right frequency. And you can master it too. But you must break the mental chains that were planted in you since childhood. You must question everything you were taught about money. You must uproot the guilt, the fear, the shame of wanting more. Because wanting more isn't greed, it's expansion. You are here to expand, to grow, to make an impact. And money is part of that expansion. It's not the goal, it's the bridge. It's the amplifier of who you already are. If you are fear, it amplifies chaos. If you are conscious, it amplifies your light. Money doesn't change you, it reveals you. And what have you revealed so far? What's been your internal narrative around prosperity? Do you say you want more, but live like you're afraid to ask for it? Do you dream big, but make decisions with a scarcity mindset? Do you pray for abundance, but vibrate insecurity, doubt, comparison? That has to change. Because as long as your mind carries scarcity programming, money will feel like an enemy. You'll work hard and see little. You'll fight the world and battle the bills. You'll attract debt, emergencies, losses, not because the universe punishes you, but because you're vibrating in the survival field, not the creation field. And here's the truth many avoid. You can change that frequency. You can break the cycle. You can redefine your relationship with money. And it starts with a new financial identity. Yes, identity. Because you'll never rise above the financial level your identity can hold. You might earn more for a while, but if your identity is still rooted in lack, you'll find a way to sabotage, to lose, to push it away, because you'll always return to what your mind calls normal. If normal for you is an overdrawn account, relying on favors, or just getting by, then that's where your frequency will pull you back, even if you have the potential for so much more. And you do, so much more. But you have to take command, reprogram, reinvent. Decide now. You are becoming a new frequency, a new energy field, a conscious magnet for money. And that doesn't just mean thinking positively. It means thinking consciously, acting with intention, living with purpose, and every single day, strengthening your inner field with images, words, and choices that support your new identity. Because the frequency of money is sustained through coherence. There's no use affirming abundance while living in doubt. There's no use desiring wealth while vibrating guilt. You must become the kind of person for whom money feels natural, light, a part of the mission, not an obsession. You are ready for this shift. The fact that you're hearing this now proves you are. Because truth shows up when the soul is ready to receive it. And if you've made it this far, it's because your spirit is tired of surviving. It wants to thrive. Money doesn't come from where you think. It doesn't come from your job. It doesn't come from your boss. It doesn't come from the government, the economy, or the crisis. All of these are merely channels. But the source is invisible. The source is mental, spiritual, vibrational, universal. You need to understand this. Money is spiritual. It is materialized energy and flow. And if you want more money, you must first expand your spiritual consciousness around wealth. Because true prosperity begins within. That's why so many people work endlessly and still feel stuck. Because they operate in the visible world with a mind limited by the invisible. Because they believe money is about effort, not frequency. Struggle, not alignment. Sacrifice, not worthiness. And this is one of the biggest lies you were told. That you need to sacrifice to deserve. That wealth is for the few. That wanting more is selfish. That too much success drives people away. That money corrupts. That spirituality and wealth are opposites. None of that is true. These are just seeds planted in your mind by generations who knew nothing beyond survival. But you are here to break that cycle. To open the road that never existed in your lineage. You are here to be the turning point. And the turning point begins with language. Listen carefully. The way you speak about money is shaping what you live. Every time you say it's hard, I can't, money disappears. It's not for me. The universe takes note and delivers accordingly. You are co-creating your reality with words. Thoughts are commands. Emotions are fuel. And words are prophetic declarations. They seal what your mind accepts as truth. That's why, if you want to master the frequency of money, start by mastering your internal language. Replace "it's hard" with "it's under construction." Replace "I can't" with "I'm learning." Replace "I don't have" with "I'm becoming." You're not lying to yourself. You're shaping. You're sculpting the identity that supports the vibrational field of prosperity. Because in the end, it all comes down to one thing: identity. You will never live something that contradicts the identity you've accepted as your own. If you see yourself as broken, unlucky, or a failure, nothing you do on the outside will be enough. Because the inner image always wins. But when you change that image, everything else changes with it. You don't need to pretend, or prove, or chase. You simply are. You vibrate wealth. You carry energetic authority. And money responds. Ideas come. Opportunities show up. Connections arise. The world responds to those who know themselves, because those who know themselves vibrate truth, and truth attracts, because it's coherent, because it's solid, because it's magnetic. But to get there, you'll need to face the ghosts, the invisible codes running in the background of your mind, the voices that say this isn't for you, that's too much, money comes but it goes. Because those voices, they aren't yours. They were borrowed, inherited, installed. But now you get to choose what stays. And it may seem simple, but that choice is revolutionary. Because when you take control of your mind, you take control of your financial life. You stop acting on autopilot. You stop living in reaction. And you begin operating in conscious creation. You start saying no to what doesn't elevate you, to what holds you back, to what distracts you. You no longer spend out of guilt. You no longer save out of fear. You don't rush into deals. You live with energetic intelligence, with presence, with inner authority that is mastering the frequency of money. It's no longer being a prisoner of your bank account, but becoming the channel through which abundance flows. It's leaving behind unconscious scarcity and entering deliberate creation. It's no longer just wanting wealth, but beginning to vibrate as someone who already carries it. Because the greatest trap of the poor mind is waiting. When I have money, then I'll be happy. When I pay off my debts, then I'll breathe. When I get that job, I'll finally feel valued. But those who vibrate scarcity, even with millions in the bank, stay trapped. Because it's not about having, it's about being. You want money? Then start behaving like someone who already lives in financial peace. Start acting like someone who knows the flow is guaranteed. Like someone who doesn't depend on miracles because they've already realized they are the miracle. Security doesn't lie in what you earn. It lies in the identity you sustain. And your new identity needs nourishment. It needs training. It needs consistency. You must surround your mind with new references, with new codes, with a new tribe that speaks the language of wealth naturally, wisely, and responsibly. Spiritual poverty begins when you isolate yourself from truth, when you only listen to those who complain, who blame, who justify. But wealth consciousness is born from environment, from the decision to accept only what uplifts, what awakens, what transforms. And it all starts with an internal decree. I no longer accept living outside of my original frequency, because your original frequency is prosperity, is flow, is creation, is dominion. You are simply returning to what you've always been. And the more you remember that, the more your outer reality begins to reflect it, not because the world changed, but because you did. There is a moment when everything changes. It's not when the money comes in. It's not when the debt is paid. It's not when life gets easier. It's when you decide, truly decide, from the inside out, with every cell, every thought, every gesture, because decision is a frequency, and the universe responds to decisions made with conviction, not hesitation. You could spend years studying finances, watching videos, reading books, but until there's a non-negotiable decision to elevate your financial identity, everything will remain scattered information. Money isn't attracted to what you learn. It's attracted to what you embody. And embodiment requires courage. Courage to say, I decide to become someone who attracts money with ease, with wisdom, with purpose. Courage to shift your energy before your circumstances change. Courage to be before you have. Because the universe doesn't deliver when you're materially ready. It delivers when you're energetically ready. When your vibration no longer begs, but gives thanks. When your field no longer pleads, but allows. Allowing is an act of trust, and trust is the foundation of the money frequency. Have you noticed how money flows to those who believe it always comes? How people with a light, confident relationship with money live more freely, more abundantly, more calmly. It's not a coincidence. It's vibrational coherence. And you can become that person. But you'll have to stop betraying yourself. You'll have to stop saying, "I can," while acting like you can't. You'll have to let go of the emotional addictions of scarcity, the constant fear of lack, the impulse to cling, the anxiety of waiting for payday. These behaviors aren't just habits. They're energetic affirmations, internal confirmations that you still don't trust. And where there's no trust, the flow gets blocked. Money doesn't like desperation. Money is drawn to clarity. It feels safe with those who radiate security. It flows to those with direction, to those who know what they'll do with it before it arrives. Do you know what you'll do with your next amount of money? Or will you just put out fires and handle emergencies again? Because as long as you're reacting, money will keep slipping away. But when you begin creating with intention, it starts to multiply. Clarity precedes abundance. You must decide, who are you becoming financially? What is your new economic identity? How does this version think, act, invest, speak, show up? Does this version hesitate to charge what they're worth? Lower prices to be liked? Buy things to prove something? Self-sabotage every time they start to grow? Or do they know their value? Know what they deserve? Know where they're going? That version of you needs space. And space only appears when you stop filling your mind with the old beliefs, old excuses, old patterns. You must silence the noise. Stop listening to those who've never prospered. And start building your own philosophy of wealth. Because wealth is not a formula. It's energetic identity. And identity is built through practice. Through every small choice. Every tiny habit. Every no you say to the old impulse. Every yes you give to your new truth. You start small, but you start consistent. You start by changing what you think when you look at your bank statement. By changing what you feel when you pay a bill. By shifting the energy behind how you talk about money at lunch with friends. By changing what you vibrate when you see someone else prosper. Here's another key. You will never be abundant if you envy those who are. You will never be free if you criticize those who have. You will never attract what you reject. So honor prosperity wherever it shows up. Celebrate others' success. Rejoice in their growth. This is not flattery, it's wisdom. It's vibrational code. It's a signal to the universe that says, I'm ready for this too. But if you feel resentment toward wealth, you're saying, this is dangerous. This is unfair. This pushes me away. And the universe, being neutral, simply agrees. You want more money? Then start loving it. Not worshiping it. Not chasing it. But respecting it. Valuing it. Treating every cent as an extension of your energy, because that's what it is. Money is the materialization of your energy in the form of exchange. And when you waste it, ignore it, mistreat it, you are, in fact, disrespecting a part of yourself. But when you care for it, direct it, invest it with awareness, you activate the virtuous cycle of prosperity. And in that cycle, money doesn't just arrive. It multiplies, because now it has found fertile ground, a clear mind, an awakened human being, a new guardian of abundance. You are becoming that person with every choice, every thought, every new internal stance. And this is not about showing off. It's about purpose, because the more conscious money flows into the right hands, the more the world is transformed. More ideas come to life. More people are uplifted. More light is spread. You don't want money just for yourself. You want it to expand good, to create with impact, to give without fear, to live with presence. And all of that begins now, with a decision, an identity, a frequency. Are you ready? Then declare, I master the frequency of money. I am a channel of abundance. I am prosperity in motion. And the universe responds. You can't live on improvisation anymore. Those who master the frequency of money don't wait for chaos to make a change. They anticipate. They organize. They act with discipline because they understand. Discipline is the language of trust. It's the signal you send to the universe that says, I'm ready for more. You want more money? Then you must become a vessel capable of receiving it, without overflowing with panic, fear, or self-sabotage. Because the universe only delivers what you can hold with energetic maturity, and holding it requires practice, consistency, coherence. You don't build a new financial life with emergency reactions. You build it with rituals, with elevated standards, with decisions that don't depend on your mood, but on your vision. That's what separates those who wish from those who create. Those who master the frequency of money know it's not about luck, it's about structure, about responsibility, about being committed to a future that doesn't even exist yet. You don't need more information. You need more decisions. You need to wake up every morning with one question in mind. What am I building today? Because every gesture, every choice, every thought is feeding a future. And your financial future depends on the energy you're investing right now. You want to experience financial freedom? Then act like someone who deserves it. And acting doesn't mean rushing. It means being intentional. It means raising your internal standard. It means saying, I no longer accept living on improvisation. I no longer accept disorganization. I no longer accept emotional escape through spending. I no longer accept putting myself last. I no longer accept undercharging for my worth. I no longer accept settling for less just because it's always been this way. This is the new agreement with life. I am becoming someone who radiates prosperity with strength, clarity, and discipline. And discipline isn't oppression, it's liberation. It pulls you out of the emotional prison of impulsive decisions. It protects you from your old self, the one that acted out of desperation. It reconnects you with your greatness. Discipline is self-love in motion. You want to change your financial life in 2025? Then stop waiting for the month to turn. Stop waiting for the race. Stop waiting for the debt to end. Start now, with what you have, where you are, with courage, because the universe doesn't reward those who wait. It rewards those who move. And moving doesn't mean doing anything. It means acting with aligned intention. It means taking steps that are consistent with your new identity. It means stopping the escape from reality and starting to shape it with wisdom. That starts with knowing where you're going. What's your financial goal for 2025? How much do you want to save? How much do you want to invest? Who do you want to help? What do you want to make real? Money likes direction. It responds to clarity, to purpose. It hates confusion. And if you don't know where you're headed, neither will your money. It's not enough to vibe abundance if you don't know what to do with it. You need to give your prosperity a name. You need to have a clear vision. You need to write it, visualize it, feel it, act on it. Because when the mind sees, the body follows. You want to receive more? Then train yourself to manage the little as if it were a lot. Organize the money you already have with excellence. Honor every amount that comes in. Give it direction. Don't just watch it disappear. Be intentional with every dollar. Because when you take care of the small, you prepare for the abundant. And more than that, stop postponing decisions. Delaying is self-sabotage dressed as caution. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It doesn't exist. The perfect moment is when you become perfect for the life you want. Money's energy doesn't wait. It circulates. It flows. And if you don't step up with certainty, it slips away. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because you haven't yet recognized yourself as a trustworthy channel. You need to become a magnetic field of stability. And that doesn't come from what you have. It comes from what you are. Be someone who honors agreements, who meets deadlines, who chooses with awareness, who pays with gratitude, who buys with purpose, who invests with wisdom. That's the new standard. That's the frequency. You're no longer here to survive. You're here to expand. And expansion demands structure. Are you ready for that structure? Ready to raise the level of your decisions? Ready to break the old cycle of urgency and chaos? Then start now. Not in a rush, but with purpose. Each day, a new habit. Each decision, a new vibration. Each thought, a new reality being formed. You are shaping your 2025 right now, and it will be as prosperous as the level of your energetic discipline. The money is already on its way. The question is, are you becoming someone who knows what to do with it? Everything you desire already exists. The prosperity you want is already ready. The opportunity you seek is already out there. The money you dream of is already in motion, looking for a place where it can grow, multiply, and serve. And what will allow it to find you is your frequency. Yes, because money has a GPS, and it doesn't track your ID number, address, or social status. It tracks your energy, your vibration, your consciousness. It's moving right now, searching for someone who treats it with respect, someone who sees it with love, someone who vibrates gratitude for it, even before it arrives. And here lies one of the greatest spiritual keys to wealth: gratitude in advance. You don't give thanks after receiving. You give thanks before. Because gratitude before is a sign of faith, a sign of certainty, a sign that you're not just wishing, you're expecting with trust. Gratitude aligns your field with what you want to experience. You wake up and say, "Thank you for the money that's on its way. Thank you for the financial freedom I'm building. Thank you for the doors that are opening." And that gratitude shifts everything. It reprograms your brain. It relaxes your body. It dissolves fear. And fear is the biggest block to prosperity. You need to understand, fear is a negative prayer. It's you telling the universe, "I believe it's going to go wrong." And the universe, which is neutral, simply responds, "As you wish." But when you vibrate gratitude, even before the miracle, the universe responds faster, with more ease, with more precision, because you become a magnetic field of worthiness. And magnetism can't be faked. It must be felt. You attract what you are, not what you pretend to be. You want to attract prosperity? Then become peace. Become coherence. Become presence. You want to increase your financial flow? Then raise your emotional vibration. Anxious people don't prosper. People who live in the future, in desperation, in constant urgency, sabotage the flow. Because money loves emotional stability. It loves environments where it can grow without fear. Are you that environment? Or are you someone who only thinks about money when it's lacking? Who gets stressed every time a bill arrives? Who feels guilty when spending? Who panics when investing? You need to heal your emotional relationship with money. Because as long as you're tied to unresolved financial trauma, money will always feel like a threat, a burden, a source of anxiety. But when you heal that relationship, money becomes light again. It returns to what it has always been: energy, a means, not an end, a partner, not a burden. You need to return to the origin point. What did you see about money as a child? What phrases did you hear? What behaviors did you witness? Because maybe you grew up hearing, money is dirty. The rich don't go to heaven. People with money are arrogant. You have to work yourself to death to earn anything. That's not for people like us. And now, even though you want to grow rich, you're still carrying around that emotional trash. But today, you can clean it. Today, you can rewrite it. You can say, money is a blessing. The more I prosper, the more I can help. Earning well is natural. I am worthy of living in ease. Prosperity is my natural state. Say it, feel it, live it, because this is the new frequency. And here's another powerful truth. Money flows to those who are ready to expand. It comes to those who want to grow, not just out of vanity, but with purpose. You weren't born to just accumulate. You were born to contribute, to lead, to teach, to impact. And money is one of the most powerful means to do that. But it will only serve you if you are whole. You can earn millions and still live in scarcity. Because scarcity isn't a number, it's a state of being. It's the inability to relax, even with everything you once dreamed of. You want financial peace? Then build emotional peace. You want freedom? Then be free on the inside. Free from fear. Free from comparison. Free from the need for external validation. Free from the need to prove anything to anyone. Because when you vibrate lightness, money comes closer. And it comes without you needing to chase, force, or beg. You simply emanate a vibration that says, here it's safe. Here it's conscious. Here it's prosperous. And money understands. That's how it works. It's not magic. It's frequency. It's not luck. It's alignment. And when you align, the impossible starts to feel normal. You begin to get used to miracles. You look back and realize, I've become someone else. Because it wasn't the money that changed everything. It was who you became in the process. It was the identity you activated. It was the trust you cultivated. It was the peace you built. That's the frequency that transforms. And it's available to you right now. There comes a moment when everything aligns. You no longer feel urgency. You no longer feel doubt. You no longer feel rushed. You feel presence. You feel strength. You feel clarity. This is the state of true abundance. A place where you're no longer chasing money. You're magnetizing it. Not because you stopped acting, but because you started acting from a different place. An inner place. A quiet place. A sacred place. You finally understood that money is not the goal, it's the reflection. A reflection of your expansion. A reflection of your vision. A reflection of your impact. And now, You no longer live for survival. You live for mission. That's the difference between those who vibrate scarcity and those who vibrate wealth. The first lives to solve problems. The second lives to fulfill purpose. And purpose is a high-frequency state. When you are on a mission, money starts to flow more naturally. Because the universe sponsors those who live to expand the good. You are here for something greater. You weren't born just to pay bills, work overtime, and repeat the cycle. You were born with gifts, with talents, with a message, with something no one else can offer the way you can. And when you activate that, you access the source. Because the true source of money isn't the market or the system or politics. The true source is your value. It's how much of your truth you're offering to the world. It's how much light you're bravely sharing. Do you want more money? Then start offering more value. Not just commercial value, real value. Value that transforms. Value that heals. Value that inspires. Value that builds. And that value is born from your alignment with what you love to do. Because when you love what you do, you carry presence. And presence is the most rare currency in today's world. Presence attracts. Presence connects. Presence transforms. And that presence, when combined with elevated energetic frequency, becomes a field of abundance so powerful that money starts to look for you. Yes, it seeks you out. Because you become a beacon, a fertile field, a source. And when you become a source, you stop asking. You start offering. And the more you offer, the more you receive. Because abundance doesn't come from hoarding. It comes from circulating, from trusting that the more you flow, the more you attract. But to do this, you must break free from the fear of losing. Because the fear of loss blocks the flow of receiving. And if you hold on with fear, you vibrate lack. But when you give with awareness, you vibrate trust. True financial freedom begins when you no longer depend on your bank balance to feel peace. Your peace cannot live in a number. Your peace must live in who you've become. You are the root. Money is the fruit. Take care of the root, and the fruit will be inevitable. And how do you care for the root? With vision clarity, with action discipline, with emotional consistency, with living spirituality, with daily decisions that nourish the identity you've chosen to embody. This is what it means to live in high frequency. This is what it means to master the vibration of prosperity. You start the day in silence. You breathe. You give thanks. You visualize. You feel. You see money flowing in with ease. You see yourself saying no to anything misaligned. You see yourself acting with purpose, with grace, with a quiet strength. And then you go out into the world. But now, you're no longer going out to seek. You're going out to manifest. You're going out to express. You're going out to remind the world of the truth living inside you. You become living proof that it's possible. That living in abundance is not about luck, it's about decision. That prosperity is not ego, it's contribution. That having money is not sin, it's power, well directed. And in this new state, you stop competing. Because those who vibrate abundance don't compete. They create. They collaborate. They expand. You are that creator. You are that expansion. You are that channel. And now, everything begins to happen faster. Ideas arrive. Opportunities arise. The right people show up. Money flows. Life aligns. Not because everything got easy, but because you became unshakable. This is the frequency that commands the invisible. The frequency of someone who decided that 2025 will be the turning point. The year of mastery. The year when you don't just earn money. You become the kind of person who will never go back to scarcity. Because now, you've become the flow itself. The time has come. There's no more room for doubt. No more room for excuses. No more room for clinging to scarcity. What you just heard wasn't just a speech. It was a calling, a summons, a mirror, a reminder of your forgotten nature. You are not a victim of life. You are a co-creator. You are a channel. You are the cause. And money has always been waiting for you. Waiting for you to remember who you are. Waiting for you to stop chasing and start becoming. Waiting for you to shed the survival identity and boldly wear the vibrational robe of abundance. You know what you need to do. You felt it, deep inside, in the silence between one phrase and the next, in the chill that can't be explained, in that sudden urge to change everything, to live fully, to finally take control. So go, but go all in. Go without turning back. Go with discipline, because it is discipline that will turn this emotion into structure. Discipline will give form to what you decided to vibrate. Discipline will sustain your frequency on the days motivation fades. And it will fade, because motivation is a fire. It lights up, but it also dies out. Discipline is the sun. It rises every day, even behind the clouds. You want prosperity? You want financial peace? You want to live a life of true freedom? Then you must be loyal to your new identity. You must repeat, I'm not going back to what broke me. I no longer negotiate with my old self. I refuse to betray my greatness for fear of failing. Failure isn't the problem. Failure is part of the process. But staying small out of fear of trying, that is the real waste. You are not here to live small. You are here to expand the world with your presence, with your energy, with your truth, with your mission. And money is the messenger that carries your mission further. You want more money? Then honor what it represents. Honor your energy. Honor your time. Honor your talent. Honor your decisions. It will come. But it will come because you became someone who no longer waits for miracles. Because you became the miracle. You are the miracle. So stop doubting. Stop waiting. Stop asking for permission. You were authorized by the universe the moment you were born. You already received the yes. You already carry everything you need. Now it's a matter of ownership, of practice, of rising, every single day, with discipline, with strength, with honor. And it doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter what they taught you. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen. What matters is what you do from here on out. This moment is your new starting point. And it doesn't depend on how much is in your bank account. It depends on how much decision is in your soul. Because the money is coming. It's on its way. And it will find you. Not because you chased it, but because you vibrated it. Because you aligned. Because you decided. Because you committed. And now, to seal this commitment, with the universe, with your new self, with the life you were born to live. Backhand index pointing down. Subscribe to the channel right now. Set the reminder for your discipline. Share this video with someone who needs to wake up. And write in the comments, with strength, with conviction, with intention. Backhand index pointing right, discipline backhand index pointing left. This is the password to your next chapter. This is the frequency that opens doors. This is the energy that shapes futures. Discipline, because abundance is your birthright, but it becomes your reality through practice.